and there was an old Victorian house on the corner. For many, many years, they collect rainwater over here, and then the governors of Texas, their wives would come over to use the rainwater to rinse their hair when they'd wash their hair. It was kind of interesting, you know. It had a real historic significance in many ways. And beautiful old house, except that it had been stripped of everything inside. So it was just a shell at the time we were looking at it. And it had been inherited by a lady named Dorothy Rudley. And she lived in San Antonio, and her husband was a retired colonel. And so I talked to Miss Rudley about possibility of our buying the property, and she said, well, we've had a number of developers that wanted to build condominiums there, and her husband said, we don't like that idea at all, you know. So he said, I think if we decide to sell the property, which we may not, we'd prefer to have the Texas Bankers Association headquarters there. So in the middle of the property, it was another vacant lot that was used as a parking lot. And on that end of the property, down by the Thompson building, was just a one-story, very plain-looking house, which was used by an engineer. A fellow in Austin named North Milliken owned that property, and so I talked to him about whether or not he could sell, would be interested in selling. He said, well, yes, I might be, but I can't sell as long as the engineer who's there, he said he's been there 25 years, said I'm not going to evict him. So as long as he wants the property, well, I'm not going to sell it. I got a call from Ms. Rudley, and her husband, the colonel, had died. When the colonel was on his deathbed, he said, Dorothy, you sell that property to Sam. Came back about 3 or 4 days later, and there was a telephone call from North Milliken, who was the owner of the other house. And he said, Sam, the engineer had a heart attack and died. Said, I'm ready to sell you the property. And so we bought all 3 pieces, which is what we're covering now, and paid $16 a square foot, but at that time was the highest price in Austin. But it was worth it because of location, you know, location. Anyway, I thought it was divine intervention, really, you know, to this involved, and everything came together all at once. So we got the property and started from there.